Hello and welcome to today's video, and in today's video I'm going to be showing this street light and how to wire it. Now, you may have bought one of these off eBay because you're a light collector, or you may, like me, have seen the fitter outside changing the street light and your favourite street light has just been replaced by some LED thing, and you ask the fitter if you can have the street light and they give you it. It's always worth asking. I've asked a couple of times and I've had two, and I've also bought another one off eBay. So let's have a look at the light. Well, this is a 35 watt SOX sodium street light with a light sensor. Quite common, or were common, in the UK. You can still see them around, they're not completely gone. So what I'm going to do is we'll open it up and wire it up to a 3-pin plug so that I can turn it on. So first, what you have to do is take off the bolt. Now the bolts on these, also be careful because these lights are very top heavy with the ballast in them. Undo the clip. One side is a clip, one side is a hinge. Once you've got the clip off, you can then unhook it from the other side, put it somewhere safe. The tube inside it is, this is a 35 watt SOX lamp, and these are pretty safe to handle. There's no mercury in a sodium lamp, there's just sodium. Don't break these, don't get wet. If you do break one, make sure there's no water around. This one is a Phillips, it's SOX Plus, it says it on the end cap. This is the one with the red end. And the stuff that you can see inside is liquid sodium. These lights always look well used, even when they're new. So if your tube looks a bit like this, do not be too concerned. You have a label, and to get inside one of these light fittings, you normally have to undo a couple of screws. So find a suitable screwdriver, and you need to undo this one here on this fitting, and this one just here. Now, you don't have to remove these screws, you can just loosen them, and then the gear tray should just slide out like so. It will be, however, attached with a lot of wiring to what you can now see inside. Inside, you're looking at the main incoming, where you'll need to connect to, in this case, live, neutral and earth. The live wire runs up to the photocell, and then from the photocell it goes to the light. If you want to disconnect or bypass the photocell, all you have to do is disconnect the live wire, these two wires here. Now you can either use a connector block and just connect them together so they're not running through the sensor. Alternatively, you can do what I'm going to do, and then that is just put a cover on the photocell so you can use it during the day. This is a gripper and grips the wire. It's made out of these two bits of this material, and the idea is the wire cord comes through from the lamppost or your plug through the center of this, and then you can wire it to the light fitting. So what I think we'll do next is get the wire through and start to wire it. Now, of course, you've got to be very careful when touching these connector blocks. This light fitting is dated 1985, so it is now 2024, so that is quite a few years. This light is nearly 40 years old. Actually, well, it's coming up to it's currently about 39 years old, but minor detail. But yes, connector blocks and wiring can be quite fragile on these. I'll show you some other information in a bit, but the igniter on this one is dated from October 07, so the igniter on this light fitting is a lot newer and can be the reason why these lights fail. So first thing I think we'll do is we'll wire up the light, starting with the live, then the neutral, then the earth. So that's the live done. So there's the neutral done. So just the earth left to connect. And finally we'll collect the earth wire. Once you've done them, check they're all tight. Not overly tight, just tight. There we go. So your 3 wires are now connected, and now we're going to do the strain relief. You want your cable to go between these 2 items, so the one at the back and then this one over the top, and then just put the screw back in, and just do up the connections until they are tight. The wire does not move, not overly tight. That's nice and firm. So there we go. Now it's time to obviously you fitted the plug and you need to put the correct fuse in. Now, low pressure sodium lights are very similar to fluorescent lights, ampage and wattage wise. So a 35 watt sodium light bulb is similar to a 36 and 40 watt fluorescent light. So a 3 amp fuse is more than enough for this light fitting, and I'll show you this on the power meter in a bit when we have this running, and you'll see how many amps this light will actually pull. So once you've got the correct fuse, it's time to put your light back together. Right, before we put the light back together, I think I'll quickly show you the inside. So this is the ballast, and the live comes to the ballast, and what we have to do now is go around. The live comes from the ballast, goes into this capacitor. One of the wires, the white wire from the capacitor, goes straight to the sodium lamp. The blue wire from the capacitor goes to the igniter just here, and this igniter then has a wire that goes back to neutral, and the white wire that's in the igniter, one goes to the output of the ballast and to the other pin on the sodium light. So the wiring is quite simple. If you have to take any of these off to clean them, just take a photograph so you can remember where everything goes. The igniter has screw fittings, so you can completely disconnect this because these are serviceable, and as I said, this one says 1007 on it, so this one has been replaced. I believe the ballast is original. These last forever. The capacitor well, it's a strange kind of yellowish colour now, but is in working condition, I believe. If the light doesn't work, people say you can remove the capacitors, but I recommend that if you can get these still, and just replace it with the equivalent. They may be a lot smaller nowadays, but the light is a lot more stable with a working capacitor. So we'll put this light tray back in the same way as it came out. Just slot it in, and that is it. So do the 2 screws back up. Don't have to be overly tight, just so the gear doesn't slip out. It's a bit more fiddly because I'm behind the camera stand. Refit your 35-watt SOX lamp. Got a nice little etch on it. I don't know if you can see it in the video. There we go. Phillips, made in UK, 35-watt SOX Plus. Stick that in. Nice. And finally, the shade. Again, hook it on the hinge side, and clip it on. Now this one obviously has metal clips, but if you have one with plastic clips, just be careful with it. The bowls themselves are normally in good condition on these lights. Can yellow slightly if you've got the 70-watt high pressure version of these. You sometimes get a burn mark back here where the high pressure bulb is, but this is the sodium version, and sodium tubes or lamps do not get that hot. So you've now connected up your light and you want to test it, but it has a photocell on it and it's not dark. So what we're going to do is cover that up, and I recommend just using a sock or something because they just go over. So there we go. It should work during the day now. Turn it back over, put it in a position where we can see it in the camera, and we'll turn it on in 3. 1, 2, 3, and plug it in, of course. What you'll get is a reddish coloured light, and in about 5 or 6 minutes this light will be fully on. So I'm going to let this light warm up, and we'll see you when it is fully lit. Okay, we've been on for about 2 minutes now. Now what the camera is seeing is this, but the human eye is seeing this reflection. So we are seeing more of a reddish kind of end, bit of orange, and only a little bit of yellow. So I'll pause again and wait for us to get up to full brightness. So there we go, our sodium lamp is now up to full brightness. The amps this light is drawing is 0.62, and it's slowly climbing until it'll peak. Power factor of this light is 0.41, which isn't great. It's currently pulling 62.1 watts, which is almost twice its rating considering it's a 35 watt tube. Obviously you do lose some in the ballast. The voltage currently here where I live is 241.7, and the amps is settling out at about 0.633, which means a 3 amp fuse is perfect for this light. So there's only one thing really left to do, and that is test your light sensor. Now obviously I covered mine up because I do know that mine works. So there we go. Remove the sock oil cover, and what we'll do is we'll wait for the sensor to realise it's daylight, and there we go, it turns off. So that's a quick guide on how to wire a UK 240 volt street light, bearing in mind in other countries your voltage may vary, especially in America where you can have 240 watt street lights and 210 volt street lights. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.